Christelle from Diabetes Strong. In this video, I'll be showing you what I eat in a day, or rather what I'm eating today. Because the thing is, I don't follow a specific diet. I don't adhere to a set amount of carbs. I eat a varied diet. However, a lot of you guys have reached out to me and have asked, please share what I eat. So let's do that. Although I don't follow a specific diet now, I have in the past. I have tried the keto diet, which is very low carb, high fat. And I've also tried diets where I ate very set amounts of carbs for each meal. So the keto diet did not work out for me, and neither did the set carb, but for two different reasons. The keto did not work for me because the high amount of fat actually made me really insulin resistant. And that made it really hard for me to manage my blood sugars. So those of you who don't know me, I live with type 1 diabetes. I manage with insulin. And that means that I need to dose my insulin right for the food I eat. And when you're insulin resistant, that can become a little more complicated given that the insulin is not as effective. So ultimately, I stopped that. As I said, also tried where I ate very set amount of carbs, which might be really good for my blood sugars, but it was not good for my mental health. And I ended up having a problematic relationship with food. Let's put it like that. So stop that, and I am now in a place where I just eat what I feel like. And what makes me successful when it comes to my diabetes management is that I count my carbs. That means that for every meal, I will count out my carbs for that meal. And I do that fairly down to the gram of the grams. 1 or 2 grams off is fine. I also count my proteins and my fats. And if I do eat very high protein, I'll also dose for that because it will raise my blood sugars. So let me take you through a day, and this is a Sunday. So that means I'll be doing a little bit of work, but you'll see that it's a day where I eat and I work out and I relax a little bit. So let's start with breakfast. My go-to breakfast the last few months have been this product. It is a low-carb cereal called Catalina Crunch, and this is cinnamon toast. And I would have that with unsweetened almond milk. And that has, and I'll show you the label here, 14 grams of carbs. With the almond milk, that's about 15, 16 grams of carbs. And I've enjoyed that, but I was just on a trip. I was gone for a few days, and I had some really nice omelets. So I'm thinking that might be a yummy thing to make this morning. So that's what I'm doing. So let me just show you. So this is my breakfast. Well, I'm going to show you finished as well. I'm going to do an egg white omelet with some spinach, a little bit of Canadian bacon, and some feta cheese. And I'm going to have Thomas, I don't even know what they're called, multigrain English muffin. And this one has 26 grams of carbohydrates. So I did calculate it all. I'll show you. And my breakfast is going to be around 30 grams of carbs. I record my meals in MyFitnessPal. You can see that up here to the left because that can help me calculate my carbs. So if you flip the phone horizontally like this, see it actually shows the carb count, 28 grams. And it's just a super easy way of doing carb counting. And now I'm heading to the gym. So that meal also served as my pre-workout meal. I am going to do some resistance training, maybe some cardio if I feel like it, but that is the goal. Drink plenty of water. I know it's not food, but water is important, and I do go through a few of these bottles a day. There's 16 ounces in one. I just worked out, and I drank 1.5, so that's 24 ounces. And I'll be drinking more water throughout the day. Again, it's not food, but it kind of, I guess, falls in the what do I eat in a day category. I am back from the gym, and this is kind of a little, I don't know, wind down ritual of mine. I have a cup of coffee, like instant coffee, with a scoop of collagen protein. And it's just protein. There's nothing else in there, so there's technically no carbs. However, protein can impact blood sugars a little bit, so especially combined with coffee, sometimes I will take a little bit of insulin with it. In my view, yes, why not? Time for lunch. I'm gonna do, lunch is often one of my largest meals, the largest meal rather. I'm gonna do this is like a salad kit. I know I could chop up the salad, but I'm lazy. I don't want to. The good thing about this is that it has a complete carb count. So I'm probably going to eat the whole bag. Again, this is my largest meal. So that is 27 grams of carbs, because you can see up here, there are 3 servings, and there's 9 grams of carbs per serving. It's 27. However, there's also some fibers in here. So there is 2 grams of fiber per serving. So that is 6. That's 21 grams of carbs, net carbs for this whole bad boy. And then I'm gonna have a pork chop with it. So that is gonna be my protein. It's a fairly lean piece of meat, and I've been enjoying that lately. I'm gonna cook that with a little bit of paprika, salt and pepper. Gonna eat that with my salad. Yeah, that's lunch. Okay, so here's the salad mix, and you can hear the pork chop sizzling. So you can see some cabbage, and some different salad. There's a bit of cheese, and there's also a dressing that you can't really see, and then there's these tortilla chips. So again, if you just pile all of that on a plate, it might be hard to tell what the carb count is, but because it's on the nutrition label on the package, I know the total carb count of this plate. And that's today's lunch. 27 grams of carbs, but 21 net carbs. So that's how I'm going to dose my insulin for the net carbs. So I got a little hungry. Time for an afternoon snack. So I have my cup of coffee. It doesn't really count as a snack. But then I grabbed Kind Bar Thin. This one is like peanut butter chocolate. And it's 10 grams of carbs. And it's tasty. And now it's time for dinner. I'm not super hungry, so I'm not gonna eat a big meal, which is fairly normal for me. Sometimes I'll have half a salad like the one I had for lunch. Tonight I'm gonna do something a little different. I had some low carb bread in the freezer. I took that out. This is like 18 grams of carbs for 2 slices. I think it's 15 or 16 net carb. I'll show you in a second. And then I had a can of tuna. Tuna and water, yes, that's usually what I get. And I'm gonna make myself a tuna melt with a little side salad. So let's see what that looks like. And here you see I've locked this meal in MyFitnessPal, so you can see what's in it. If you flip the phone, and now you're able to see your macros, or your proteins, your fat, and your carbs for the individual meals. But now let's focus on the bread, for example. Let's flip it back, click on that bread, and here you can see all the details. So if you scroll down, you can see all the nutrient facts. So here you can see that the total carbs is 18 grams of carbs. However, the net carbs is actually 15 because there's 3 grams of fiber. So that's helpful if you take insulin based on your net carbs rather than just your complete carbs. And there we have dinner. It doesn't look super exciting, but I'm kind of excited about it. So it's a can of tuna. I need cheese that I melted, and I put some mayo on here. Boop. I'm gonna eat it like that. It's iceberg salad and cucumbers. I really like cucumbers. And then I'm gonna have diet soda, sparkling ice, kiwi strawberry. This is really good. And this has like nothing in it. It's not a health drink. It's just a low carb drink that I like. And this is dinner. Ta-da! And now it's almost time for bed. I am gonna eat an evening snack. I often do that. I get a little hungry, and I enjoy having a little bit of protein before nighttime. So what I'm gonna have is, I'm gonna have this. Let me just show you. Here we go. Chobani. It's a zero sugar blueberry yogurt. I really enjoy this. This is a relatively new product. I think it's only been on the market for about a year. And it's surprisingly good for being like zero sugar and all that good stuff. And it has 5 grams of carbs, so hardly any carbs. I don't want to do super carb heavy at night before bedtime. Sometimes I'll do fruit, but this is good stuff. I'll have this, and then I'll have a small handful of almonds. And that is it for today. So that was a full day of eating. You can see the nutrients up here. So I hit around 100 grams of carbs today. Not every day looks like that. Some days it'll be less, some days it'll be more. Actually, really rarely is it less than 100. But yeah, and also just don't worry about the goals here. They're very old. I think they were set by MyFitnessPal. It's not something I try to aim for. So again, 100 grams of carbs today. You can see I got a fair amount of protein in as well. But again, as I said, not every day will look the same. For me, for the most part, breakfast will stay the same, so I'll probably be eating omelets for a while. Same thing with lunch. Lunch is often some sort of green base, so like a salad today and a protein. So dinner varies quite a bit. Today I wasn't really that hungry. And I wasn't dining with anyone, so it was just fast. I think that was a cue for today. But if I sit down for dinner with my husband, for example, it'll look a little different. Also, my snacking will vary quite a bit from day to day. I do have some other kind bars that I like, which is just, again, nut bars with a little bit of chocolate. I like to eat fruit. I also found some Trader Joe's chocolate covered strawberries that are really, really good. I do sometimes eat a few pieces of chocolate throughout the day if I want something sweet, like cheese. String cheese is also good. So there's these little round cheeses called Baby Bell. I think that's what they're called at least. Or different types of yogurts. So if I snack a lot in a day, my carb count often gets quite a bit higher, which is okay. Another thing that I like is actually also really like popcorn, which of course is a straight up carb. But I find that they're fairly easy to dose for, because if you do air pop popcorn, the fat content is fairly low and it's just carbs. But again, that is what I ate today. It will vary a little bit, but if you like this video, please give it a like below and leave me a comment. If you want to see more from me, remember to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. That is that little bell. That way you'll be informed whenever I post new content. Thank you so much for watching.